And those who teach aspiring police officers say whether to use deadly force is a decision that must be made within seconds, if not milliseconds.
And today, students at NWTC trained for different scenarios, including those resulting in deadly force. NBC 26's Juliana Falk was there and has a story of what goes into that training officers receive.
From only physical force to guns to other weapons, criminal justice students at NWTC put what they've learned in the classroom to the test, training with instructors.
Students will turn around and be presented with something in front of them, whether the role player is presenting a weapon, they could be not a threat and asking for directions, they could be having a medical condition, and the officers have to make the decision in that split second on what's the best course of action to resolve the problem in front of them.
This is to prepare them for when they're in the field. Jeff Stieber, a criminal justice instructor with the college, says officers have sometimes very little time to weigh different factors before deciding to shoot to kill.
You know, however long it takes for the officer to process and make that decision, a lot of times goes back to their training and how they've been trained and their personal experiences on the street and elsewhere to help them make that decision if they're making the right one or not.
He says officers are trained to use deadly force to protect themselves or others.
Their justification to use deadly force is if there's a direct threat either directly to them or to somebody else, and they're using force in protection of others.
One student we talked with says there's so much that goes into that decision.
It's split second, and you don't want to make the wrong decision and end somebody's life and end your career. But I think our training kind of takes over, and then you just react to the situation in front of you.
Stieber says an officer-involved shooting can bring a range of emotions for the officer involved, and that many departments have plans in place to work with officers after a case like this. In Green Bay, Juliana Falk, NBC 26.
Stieber also says that after an officer-involved shooting happens, an outside agency will investigate the incident, and typically officers are placed on that administrative leave during that process.